The early 18th century in London was a time of significant turmoil, with rampant crime and a justice system that could be both swift and brutal. Amidst this environment, a figure emerged whose name would become synonymous with defiance and audacity: John Jack Sheppard. Born on March 4, 1702, Sheppard would rise from humble beginnings to become one of the most infamous criminals in British history, renowned for his audacious prison escapes and his reputation as an unlikely folk hero to the poor. His story would inspire plays, novels, and even legends that would last for generations, making him both a symbol of rebellion and a cautionary tale of a life cut short. Sheppard's birth in the White's Row area of Spitalfields, London, marked the beginning of a life that would see both great promise and immense tragedy. His family was poor, and he was baptized at St. Dunstan's in Stepney just a day after his birth, perhaps in fear of infant mortality, as the era was known for high child death rates. He was named after an older brother who had passed away before Jack's birth, and had two younger siblings, Thomas and Mary. His father, a carpenter, passed away when Jack was still a child, leaving his mother to care for the family on her own. Unable to make ends meet, Sheppard's mother sent him to a local workhouse at the age of 6. There, he was apprenticed to a cane chair maker, but his first master passed away, and his second one treated him poorly. After these early hardships, Sheppard went on to work as a shop boy for a wool draper named William Kneebone, where he learned to read and write. This was also where he learned the craft of carpentry, apprenticing with a master named Owen Wood in Covent Garden in 1717. By the time he was in his early 20s, Sheppard had gained a reputation as a skilled carpenter, albeit with a slight stutter and a penchant for getting into trouble. Small in stature, only 5 feet 4 inches (1.63 meters), he was light and wiry but deceptively strong. He was well liked by those around him, especially in local taverns, where his quick wit made him popular among fellow apprentices. Yet, despite his success in his trade, Sheppard began to veer off course, falling into a life of crime. His fate, it seemed, would not be defined by the tools of a carpenter, but by the tools of a thief. The turning point in Sheppard's life came when he started frequenting a tavern run by Joseph Hayne, a local button molder and tavern keeper. The Black Lion, as it was known, was a popular spot among criminals, including Joseph Blueskin Blake and the notorious thief-taker general, Jonathan Wild. Wild was, at that time, a self-proclaimed crime fighter who secretly ran a vast criminal syndicate in London. But for Sheppard, the tavern became a place where he would meet others who would lead him further down the path of crime. It was in the Black Lion that Sheppard met Elizabeth Lyon, also known as Edgeworth Bess, a prostitute who would become his partner in both crime and life. Her influence over Sheppard was immense, and together they embarked on a series of petty thefts that would escalate into full-blown burglary. Sheppard, once a humble carpenter, soon found himself committing crimes of increasing severity, stealing from the very homes where he had worked as a journeyman carpenter. His crimes went unnoticed for a time, but his luck was running out. In August 1723, Sheppard made the bold decision to leave his apprenticeship behind, just 2 years shy of completing it. He started working independently, but it was clear that his criminal activities were becoming the primary focus of his life. His first known theft occurred in the spring of 1723, when he stole 2 silver spoons from a tavern in Charing Cross. He then progressed to more significant burglaries, often involving his fellow criminals in Jonathan Wild's gang. Despite his increasing involvement in crime, it was Sheppard's notorious ability to escape from prison that would cement his place in history. Arrested and imprisoned multiple times throughout 1724, Sheppard gained a reputation as an impossible man to contain. His escapes were so audacious that they became the stuff of legend. Sheppard's first arrest came in February 1724, when he and his brother Tom were caught after a burglary in Clare Market. Tom, having been previously convicted of a crime, feared the gallows and turned on Jack, leading to a warrant for his arrest. Sheppard was imprisoned in St. Giles's Roundhouse, a notorious lockup for criminals, but within hours, he managed to break free. Using nothing more than bedclothes, he fashioned a rope to lower himself from the ceiling of his cell and escape into the crowd below. This daring escape set the tone for his criminal career. He was arrested again in May 1724, but once more, he managed to escape from the new prison in Clerkenwell. Along with Lyon, who was locked in a cell with him, Sheppard removed a bar from the window and used knotted bedclothes to scale the prison walls. His escape was made all the more remarkable by the fact that Lyon, his accomplice, was a much larger woman, making the feat even more improbable. The public could not get enough of his exploits, and Sheppard became a hero among the common folk, admired for his resourcefulness and defiance of authority. Sheppard's final attempt to flee captivity came in late August 1724, after he had been convicted for several burglaries. He had been imprisoned in Newgate Prison, but as was becoming typical of him, he found a way out. Using a small file, he loosened an iron bar from his window, and with the help of Lyon and a fellow inmate, Pole Maggot, he escaped, disguising himself in women's clothing to elude the authorities. But Sheppard's time on the run was short-lived. He was soon captured once more, this time by the very men he had evaded for so long. By the fall of 1724, Sheppard's luck had finally run out. Despite his legendary escapes, the authorities were determined to put an end to his criminal activities. On November 16, 1724, Jack Sheppard was hanged at Tyburn, marking the tragic end to a life that had been marked by defiance, daring, and desperation. He was just 22 years old. Though his life was short, Sheppard's impact on London's criminal underworld and the public imagination was immense. His exploits captured the attention of the masses, and his story became the subject of popular plays, novels, and even a ghostwritten autobiography, which was published shortly before his execution. The autobiography, thought to have been written by Daniel Defoe, was a sensation, adding to Sheppard's mystique and ensuring that his name would not soon be forgotten. In the years that followed, Sheppard's story continued to captivate the public. The character of Macheath in John Gay's 1728 play The Beggar's Opera was based on Sheppard, and his legend was further cemented by William Harrison Ainsworth's 1840 novel Jack Sheppard, illustrated by George Cruikshank. Sheppard's criminal career, marked by his daring escapes and his rebellion against authority, became a symbol of the defiance of the working class, and for many, he was an unlikely folk hero. The life of Jack Sheppard serves as both a warning and a symbol. It is the story of a man who defied the oppressive system of his time and found fame not through his skill or work, but through his defiance of the law. His incredible ability to escape from custody captured the public's imagination, ensuring that he would live on as one of history's most famous escape artists. However, his life also illustrates the futility of a life lived in defiance of authority and order, ending in tragedy. Sheppard's name, though associated with crime and rebellion, has transcended his criminal deeds, inspiring books, plays, and even movies. His life remains a testament to the complex nature of human character and the lengths to which people will go when faced with the crushing weight of poverty and social injustice. Jack Sheppard may have been a thief, but in the eyes of many, he was a hero who dared to challenge a world that seemed determined to keep him down.